Welcome to the next episode of Discipline, Desire, Dedication. My name is Dakota Lang, along co-host Garrett Cotten. Today we have Kelly Vincent with us. Welcome, brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you here. When'd you fly in?
30 minutes ago.
30 minutes ago. Hey, right to the studio.
Yep,
so
right on
definitely glad to have you on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Let's just jump into your story, man. Kind of tell us a little bit about you. I know that you're in Tampa right now, huh?
Yep, Tampa, Florida. I'm in life insurance sales underneath Pinnacle Life Group. We're an independent marketing organization, so we're brokers, insurance brokers. And so my kind of introduction to sales at first was actually solar. Okay. And I was in telesales. So I was actually an appointment setter, and we were dialing on a dialer where we would have like 2-year-old solar leads, inbound calls. Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of my first introduction to sales. Was in it 2 years, and then like almost every solar company, right, went bankrupt, let the sales reps go. And then that's whenever I got into taking the test for life insurance.
So being in that for 2 years, though, most people, I mean, that's longer than a lot of the other solar people that I've talked to. Kind of talk about that experience. Was it pretty successful? How old were you?
Yeah, so I was 19 at the time. Okay. And for my first 6 months, I was just an appointment setter. Mm-hmm. So I was the one booking those in-person calls or Zoom calls for people to run the presentations for the closers. Okay. And so I kind of that was my first introduction. So I was like, dude, you know what? I can be a closer, right? Mm-hmm. And so I ended up running my own presentations via Zoom because I was with like Lumico, Sunrun, a lot of companies in Utah, Arizona, and the Western states, which was nice. But I was just getting paid by hour. Yeah. And then if they closed the deal of my appointments, I would get like 10%. Mm-hmm. And then once I decided to be a closer, it was kind of a rough patch because I was never at that position before as a closer to learn the products, actually present it, learn that side of the sales, right? Mm-hmm. And so I ended up closing 2 deals, fell through, didn't get paid for it. And then that's whenever I started working with multiple solar companies remote and try to close my first deal. Yeah. And never happened. And then the company went bankrupt. And then that's kind of where I stopped doing solar. Yeah. So it was kind of a bittersweet experience.
That's okay. And then from there, how did you get introduced into life insurance?
So my older sister, Holly Newton, she actually started in life insurance with Pinnacle Life Group 2 years prior. Mm-hmm. And so when I was in solar, she was, big sister, right? Bossing around, sending me receipts like, hey, I just got this deposited for this amount of work, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I'll take the test. Yeah. But this is where probably the most unique life insurance story you'll hear. I failed my state exam 19 times.
Woo. That's pretty tough.
19 times.
Yeah. And persistence plus failure equals success, though.
Exactly. And it took me a whole year and a half. Mm-hmm. And during that whole year and a half, I'll be honest, it was rough. I was living paycheck by paycheck. I was working 3 different jobs just to make ends meet. Mm-hmm. And so I couldn't even pay the $50 at times to take the test. But I knew I wanted to make sales, my career. Mm-hmm. And going into taking the test, about like the 15th, 16th time, it got to the point where even my dad was like, son, I'll put you through trade school, become an electrician for me. Mm-hmm. He owns his own business out of Kentucky. Yeah, I could have took the easy route. Yep. I could have. But I wanted to stay dedicated because I knew, I was like, okay, once I pass this test, it's going to be up for me.
The proof was there. Yeah, you could see it from your sister and stuff, and you know her. you know, so it's like, if that person can do it, I can definitely do it.
100%.
Yeah, and that's kind of the same situation with us in door-to-door. He was in real estate at the time. I found this job via my cousin. My cousin called me and said he made $8,000 his first month. And I was like, if he made $8,000, I'm going to double that. He's not a salesman. I'm a sales. I immediately, I was like, I'm going to go do it.
I love it.
I got out here though and only did like $3,000 my first month. So I did half of what he did, less than half. But again, like you, I failed for my first 3-4 months, but my 5th and 6th month is when I locked in. Yeah. But it's kind of, if you see somebody that like he knew me from college, that's how we were friends. And then over time, I was able to start showing him these checks. And when I was showing him, then he was like, all right, I'll put real estate to the side and coming out here. But I mean, that's how it goes. So how long you been in life insurance now? So
I've been in life insurance for over 2 years now.
Okay.
By my own personal production. Because, of course, in life insurance, you have your team production, then you have your own personal production. My 2 years of being in insurance year to date, I'm at 1.3 million in issue paid numbers. Yeah. Now, obviously, if you know insurance, you have to take the 9 months in advance out of it. There's your deposit. So just multiply it by 0.75 and you'll get the income off that.
Heck yeah.
But it wasn't sweet coming in because I came in part-time. And it was funny. I was a nutrition salesman, a retail salesman for a nutrition store. And I was working there probably like 50 hours a week. And whenever I had downtime, I would be hopping on Discord, listening to Holly close deals, listen to the team close deals. And that's actually where I made my first sale.
Really?
On the clock for someone else.
No way.
And then so as I was working 50 plus hours a week for my first 2 months in insurance, as I got those insurance deposits, my 9 months in advance, that's whenever I was okay. I got to handle my finances because I'll be honest, when I was failing the test, I was like negative $10,000 in debt. Credit score was
trash.
Terrible. Terrible, absolutely terrible. And I was living with my buddies at the time that were doing solar too. And so we all got into insurance at the same time.
Yeah.
Which kind of created that competitiveness. So it's like, okay, if he can do 8,000,
yeah.
I mean,
I got it.
And that kind of helped push us to our limits and really get obsessed about the business. And then that's when it started clicking.
Heck yeah.
Well, I got to go.
No, you don't.
Yes, 22. I do.
Give it a minute.
I got to go. But Kelly,
hey, man.
You be safe.
All right, viewers. Well, we just lost Dakota Lang for the day. He is taking off, headed down to Baton Rouge. Busy man, so he was too scared to miss his flight. But just to pick up where he left off,
yes, sir.
We were talking about the failures that we had to endure, kind of getting into life insurance.
Yes, sir.
And one of the similarities that we had in windows is, for me, I came out here. My cousin told me he made $8,000 his first month. I'm like, I was working at Chili's before, so if I made $3,000 is pretty good, So I came out here. My first 3 weeks out there, I'm knocking doors. Daylight to dark, knocking doors. I'm setting 6 to 8 appointments every day, so I'm filling the board.
Right.
Nothing was closing though. Like, we're running appointments. I'm getting good set, no go. Good set, no go. And this stuff is telling me that I'm doing my job, so I'm starting to get mad at the people above me. Well, 3 weeks goes by, 17 appointments ran, and my 18th appointment, it was a homeowner that was from Louisiana out here in Utah. So I built rapport based on that. Right. And I talked to this homeowner for about an hour and a half, and the next day it ended up closing for like $17,000 or something. So finally got my first sale. Ironically, 2 days later, it canceled. So didn't even get paid on that deal. But it was all part of the journey. Yeah. Biggest thing is what I learned from that, though, is persistence through failures. It can equal success. Because kind of like you, I saw people were in this room and they were making like $40,000, $50,000 a month. And I'm like, this dude's a nerd. Like, how is this guy going out there saying the same thing that I'm saying, but he's making that kind of money? Right. So I believe that if I can just learn what they're doing, like you said earlier, I obsessed with their day-to-day. I started listening to their recordings and started studying their role plays, asking them questions. And by me doing all that kind of stuff, I started to see myself start to kind of align with their successes.
And that's where I see a lot of problems with, like in any sales industry, when a new agent or a new rep comes in, they try to reinvent their wheel.
Yep.
Instead of looking up to their mentors. And it's literally, like, for me, your first 90 days to 6 months needs to be purely put as much hours as you can and just copy and paste the winners.
100%.
Okay, then after 6 months to a year, okay, you're going to want to critique some things due to your personality, how you want to handle clients, things like that. Yeah. That's okay. But you got to at least, bare minimum, just mirror the inputs, and you will get similar results. But maybe it's not on your timeline. It's never on your timeline.
That's right.
And that's where the mental resilience comes in, the persistency to put in those inputs, get those hours, and the results will come.
Yeah, and it's very, very important if the systems are working
Yes.
in the business before you get there, then it's all about replication, So even for us, like we have the same exact script, like every single door knocker.
Yep.
Now people have broken off from our company and opened up new window companies, and new companies use our script. Like, they just change. Instead of performance windows, they say they know. Like, that's all that changes. But it's replication. They've seen that it's worked. Well, our company this year has already, we sold over $110 million in windows this year. Awesome. And we're only 6 years old. So people see that works, and it's just replication. But if you have a strong foundation, once you become the leader in the room, then you can kind of start to create it your way in small ways,
With that foundation you mentioned, like, that's what I was laser focused on. Even when I was failing the test, I was still listening to podcasts. I was listening to live trainings.
I took the life insurance test. I passed it, but I started working with Primerica.
So you're like captive.
Exactly.
You're a captive
if that
agent,
makes sense
man.
for it, yeah. I went into it and they were all about set these KT, and I was 18 at the time.
Yeah.
So 18 years old. I'm selling life insurance. I ain't got life insurance. It's like one of those situations. And I probably set like 4 or 5 appointments. Nothing ever closed.
Yeah.
And then I joined the Army because I was like, well, that ain't getting me paid. I was like, I got to do something because I was running out of time.
Yeah, do what you got to do.
Yeah, but different experience and stuff like that. It's everything happens for a reason, I think. Yeah. So tell us kind of like what's some of the struggles that you've experienced with scaling your team, like recruiting and things like that.
So obviously been in business 2 years full time now, and I'll be honest, when it comes to building a team in insurance, yes, that's a lot of passive income, but it's a lot of time that you're taking away from your book of business.
Yeah.
What's coming into your pocket, right? So my first full year of 2024 last year, I was just laser focused on leading by results. I wasn't really reaching out to people, trying to get, the door-to-door guys, stuff like that into the system. Yeah. I was just focused on leading and showing my results.
Yeah.
Right. And then over time, I had people hit me up. And I was like, okay, cool. Got them in the course and everything like that. But what I would say the biggest struggle for me getting into the business was, and building a team as well, an agency, was the lack of experience I had of leading. Yes, I can lead by results, but then there's the training techniques, right? There's the mechanics of the sale of whatever product you're trying to pitch.
Yep.
And that was something that I was good at doing, but it was difficult for me to be like, okay, here's the script, here's the process, and actually get down to the science of it. Until I started reaching out to the top recruiters, top mentors of the business, started networking with them, building relationships.
Yep.
And then I just started copy and pasting what they're doing.
Literally exactly what they do. That's like how we even started the podcast. I always say that you have to be the person you want to be led by.
Yes.
Coming into this company, the owners of the company, they're living pretty good lives. I was like, they do nice Velociraptor trucks, and they're like, got big families, and they're doing so good. And I was like, me and Dakota, we would start talking. We just need to do whatever they're doing. Like for a podcast, we don't know anybody from our hometown that has a podcast, not a soul. But we came here and we saw that that's something Levi had his own and Kyle had his own. And I was like, well, we need to do a podcast, because of that, it's going to open up more doors, introduce to new networks and things like that. And it's just going to help future businesses to scale. Because for us, door to door isn't the end of the game. We're riding this out so we can invest into future businesses of our own.
And that's thinking outside the box as a business owner.
Absolutely. Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Entrepreneurship. Because I see what I'm so thankful about with where we're at is we get to experience the stresses of running a business, but without the risk of losing everything. And there's really no money involved. Like I put no money forth to be a regional manager and be over to be getting paid off the profit margins of 6 or 7 offices. I didn't put $1 in. All I did was put forth the time and the effort. But I get to learn the decision making that business owners have to deal with. Like I get to meet, and we meet every week and talk about future plans of the company. Well, what's so amazing about that is that whenever we can transfer all of those types of topics and discussions into me and Dakota's business, we're going to have that experience. And we're going to say, remember, this is how we handled these problems at Performance. And so that's kind of what our whole goal here is, we want to introduce ourselves to a lot of people and, kind of find our niche market. But right now we're starting off with a wedding venue, and we want to open more businesses as they come. But it's all part of the plan. What would you say with life insurance? Is it kind of a similar situation where is it kind of ride it till the end? I think I have a grandpa that he worked with Aflac or something like that. Okay. And he's been with Aflac. Like, he's retired from Aflac, and he does really, really well. But that was like his whole life. Okay.
Well, let me kind of educate you and the viewers too. Mm-hmm. So with insurance, you're going to have two types of agents. Mm-hmm. You're going to have captive. You represent one company, and you're pretty much, you can only pitch their products, okay, right? And you're very limited to what you can offer, right? Mm-hmm. Now with us, we're independent brokers. Mm-hmm. So under Pinnacle Life Group, we have 30 plus A-rated insurance companies, numerous types of products. So when we are on the phone with the client, because in insurance, the only qualifications on what they can get approved for, and that's when we get paid once it's approved and applied, yep, is health, medical, and age. Oh, okay. Right. So whenever you have so many tools in your arsenal, mm-hmm, you're able to be a lot more profitable. Yeah. And you have numerous things to pitch and downsell as well, which is nice. Yeah. But as a independent broker, the question you asked, run it by me again. I'm sorry.
Yeah. As far as like the future plan with this, yes, is okay, this more forever life, or is it kind of a stepping stone?
So there's kind of two directions people take, mm-hmm, in life insurance. Number one is if you want to be a solo producer, because, mm-hmm, in the life insurance space, there's health insurance, mm-hmm, retirement planning. That's where it gets more advanced, where, yeah, you're really working on financial services, almost like a financial advisor, moving 401ks to a safe investment account, right? Yeah. Those are where the fat commissions come in. Mm-hmm. So if you don't take that route, mm-hmm, then you take the route of building your book of business and team. So as you build your book of business with insurance companies, you have an insurance history. How many people are sticking on the books? Persistency, placement. How many times do I submit an application for a client to get approved? So depending on your statistics, right, and the volume of business, we have what we call an exit. Mm-hmm. And what that exit looks like, equity partners would purchase and buy out our business. We sign a contract, and we're looking over 7 figures, a contract where we just take a salary and negotiate if they want us to be a part of the business or not, or just completely exit. Yeah. So with that being said, that's kind of my route. Okay. But not just because, here's the thing, I'm such a baby to business in general, mm-hmm, right? Only
How old are you right now?
23.
Yeah. So
23. Mm-hmm. So for me, my goal is to, yes, lead by results. I did that the first 2 years of the business, which is great. Now it's like, okay, now that I have a replicatable system, let's train a team. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm at the past 6 months. And now once we get to certain metrics, my guess, we're shooting for the next 5 to 8 years. Yeah. Right? Then I'll be able to have an exit over 7 figures at that point. And then it's like, okay, now let's take my profits, go into real estate. Mm-hmm. Or if I still love the insurance game like I do now, build another one. You could. Another one. Yeah. Exit that, right? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where my headspace is, and most people that become top producers in the business and want to replicate themselves as well.
Heck yeah. Yeah, for the teams, for the guys that you bring on, so tell me, what kind of involvement do you have with them as far as, is it purely like life insurance stuff, or do you do stuff outside of work?
Yeah. So obviously it's with us, it's completely remote right now, mm-hmm, right? So you can do like in person, have your office, things like that. Okay. But right now, I lived in Chicago for 9 months, moved to Tampa, all that good stuff with me and the wife. And so right now we're just building a team remotely. Okay. So I have a couple guys here in Utah. Awesome. I have a couple guys in North Carolina, New Orleans, as well. Yeah. And Mississippi. So we're kind of building the team. But the reason why I moved to Tampa, Tampa's popping right now. It's like a mini Miami.
Yeah,
right now.
I've been hearing a lot about Tampa. We've got people trying to open markets there.
Yes. And dude, there's tons of guys like me and you in Dakota, right?
Oh yeah.
There, like every day. And walking around, dude, there's all salesmen,
Yeah.
right? And so it's a great network place, but that's where I want to start building my culture.
Yeah.
Because we have our company, Pinnacle Life Group, just closed on a $4.5 million facility where it's open to us managers.
Heck yeah.
To where we can
Is that in Tampa?
utilize it. Yes.
That is
and
cool.
It's in Tampa. So like, for example, a new guy coming in, name is Jonah Rawlings, been with me for like 2.5 weeks. His first full week, we flew him out in-person training the whole week, right? And to answer your question, the involvement of training people, right? So obviously in the business and life insurance, I'm pretty sure you've seen people like this where we call them override fairies.
Yeah.
Where they just build a team, outsource a trainer, and they're just living off the overrides, not even working, right? For me, that's not what a leader is.
Yeah, leaders got to lead, be involved.
Leaders got to lead by results again, right? And so with me being on the field, my involvement is hands-on. For example, my guy that just started 2.5 weeks ago, first week didn't make a sale. Last week didn't make a sale. And in life insurance, you can have your warm market where you don't have to pay for leads, sell your family, friends to kind of start out. But in remote sales, especially as a business owner, you have to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And the way we invest in ourselves is purchasing leads, people that made inquiries about the products we pitch, right? And so I gave him the proper expectation. I was like, dude, if you don't make your first sale your first 3 weeks, that's why I need you to just, not to your name, just have about 3,000 set aside. Yeah. Because you're starting up your business. You never own a business in your life.
Literally.
Right? No sales experience. First week, didn't make a sale. Ran through like 15 appointments that week. Swing and a miss. Same thing last week. And I had a talk with them on Sunday. And I was like, dude, I'm listening to your recordings. You have the proper inputs. I see your activity. We're on Discord where he's unmuted. I'm unmuted while we're closing deals, right? So it's very involved. And I was like, dude, I played basketball with you back in college. And it was a funny story. So when coming into college out in California, we were doing tryouts. Well, we both made it on the team. And they black shirted me and Jonah to see who's going to start. Right? Competition. And I was like, dude, here's my chance. Here's my chance. So I did good, not as good as I wanted to. And then this dude just out of nowhere had a hot hand, making everything he threw up, getting the offensive rebounds. It straight up he out-hustled me. Really? And then he got it. Yeah. And I was like, dude, that same pressure you felt, I know you have money set aside. You're chilling. Yep. But you need to find some type of survival mode. Oh, yeah. And lock in. Yep. He did that. This week, he's already going to get deposited close to $4,000. Yeah. And we tell people all the time, if you're not hungry, like it's a burn the boats mentality. 100%. Like, and that's why I think that our downline has been so successful, because we don't have an office in Louisiana. And we recruit everybody from Louisiana with the vision of you're not going back. So got to get out of your hometown, bro. You got to leave. Got to get out of your hometown. Because of that, our downline between me and Dakota, we have like north of 70 people who are selling windows for our company now. Awesome. And they've all been able to leave with the intention of never going home. So it's a complete burn the boats mentality of like, I'm going to make this happen, or else I'm going to make something happen out away from home. And so it's crucial to have that hunger. You know, even like Dakota, getting him out here, which he's not here, but he'll tell you the story, is that whenever he came, his power in his house turned off and he was eating dinner with candle. Like no money at all, like at all. And I had to lend him in total in his first like 2 months about $15,000 to get him to Colorado to come join my team.
But the thing is he was in college with me, just like this guy with you. I knew where he lived. I knew his family. I knew everything about him. He would never screw me. So I took it as an investment. 100%. I'm going to invest in Dakota, get Dakota out here on my team. And if he can be my partner through this from the beginning, we can build an empire. And 100%. It's paid off, but
that's awesome.
It's being able to take that risk,
Yeah. And a lot of people our age, man, they don't want to take risks.
No. Did you have to invest yourself getting started, or?
Dude, 100%. Like I said, whenever I'll tell you a little story. How much time we got? I don't want to keep on blaring out stories.
5-10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So coming into the business, like I said, I was like under $500 or under 500 credit score. Had no money to my name, living paycheck by paycheck. The moment I passed the test, the only money to my name was like $500.
Yep.
And it was going to rent, car payment, put it into the ATM.
It was already used in your account.
I put it to the ATM, ate it. Didn't see that money till a month. So I had to ask my family for money, pay my stuff, pay my way. So that was my start. I had like zero finances.
Yeah.
But I knew it took me a year and a half to pass the test. All I needed was a chance.
Yeah.
And so I had $1,500 to my name. And then I had $1,500 coming into deposits the next day. And I was like, I'm quitting. I'm quitting all my other jobs.
Yeah.
I'm taking the risk. I'm going all in. And obviously to go all in on that when you only have $1,500 to your name is very risky. But I wanted to be my best return on investment. Because if I couldn't, how could I invest in someone else?
100%.
Right? And so I took that risk, never looked back. And that's when we started breaking records in the company. I was ended the year top 5 out of 6,000 agents last year in personal production, and we're still top 5.
Let's go
this year with building a team.
You got to be, but I'm sure you listen to like Grant Cardone and like all the sales guys. Well, one of my favorite things on Grant Cardone is for one, in order to be the best, you have to be obsessed. It's kind of like a mindset. But on the topic of what was it you were saying right before that? One of his favorite sayings is kind of like it kind of aligned with what you were saying about, I'm drawing a break.
Me being the best return on investment.
It's better to give 100% effort to the wrong thing than it is to give 50% to the right thing. Yes. That's one of the things that I tell my people all the time is like, hey, door to door may not be for you.
Yeah.
This may not be your calling, but I'm telling you, you better give 100% and do your best effort rather than just give me half-ass effort. You got to lock in.
I've let people go because they want to give 100%.
They won't. I've had the same thing because people, you start off as a knocker in our company, you work up to a closer, then a market owner. Well, as a knocker, that promotion to closer is the hardest one. It's the most rewarding because it's like you're going from cleaning the bathrooms to getting your first cubicle, but it's like so rewarding to get a promotion. But I have people that if they don't see the vision of promoting to the next position of a market owner, then I can't keep them in the company. We'll let them stay as long until they start to just be stagnant.
Yeah.
But once they become stagnant, we got to get rid of them because if you're not fighting and growing towards your next position, then you're living a dream. It's kind of like that goal orientation.
Yeah.
If I'm not working towards a goal, what am I working towards?
No, I'm with you.
So, but I mean, it's a great hearing your story and where you come from. You're young. So, I mean, for me, I didn't lock in until I was 25 years old. I was still bartending at Chili's by 25. So you've got a 4-year head start in the sales world from what I had, so a lot of big, bright future ahead.
Appreciate that.
A lot of stuff that we're still going to be growing. We're going to reconnect as this goes on.
100%.
But where can people find you at on Instagram or anything like that?
Yeah, on Instagram, Kelly X Resolve. That's our agency, Resolve Financial.
And it's fully remote as well.
Yeah, fully remote position. If you don't have any sales experience, or if you do have sales experience, you want to get into the remote sales, shoot me a DM. Be more than happy to run the opportunity by you guys.
Awesome. Well, you guys heard it here. Kelly Vincent is going to be the guy to talk to if you're interested in a remote sales type of position with life insurance. He definitely a young guy, bright head on his shoulders, so good future there. But in the meantime, we appreciate you guys for watching. Stay tuned. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.